What's up, YouTube? I'm going to show you how I breed my theme teams and 5 IV Pokemon and maybe a 6 IV. If you're lucky too, you're able to get this with this method. Okay, so first off, you want to get yourself a Abra with Synchronize. This can work with a couple other Pokemon. This is just what I did. So I went to Route 2, got myself a Abra, and it has Synchronize. So whatever ability the Abra has, it has a 50% chance of the opposing Pokemon to have it after you capture it. It needs to be in the front of your team. So as you can see, I'm just catching this this Drowsy here, and it has a bold nature. This is just an example. I'm going to be actually breeding a Dratini in this episode. So that's how you get whatever nature. As you can see, it's bold there. I'm just going through some of my Pokemon. Now, I got the Destiny Knot with a Lillipup with pickup, so I had 5 Lillipups with pickup, and just battled in Route 1 and eventually got it. Or you can get it through Battle Tree, battling there too. So there are your 2 options. You can get the Everstone from Ilva after you beat the specific trial, or I can show you how to get an easy way to get Everstones here if you don't want to actually do that. This way you can keep getting Everstones over and over again. Alright, so here we want to get some Boldore. You can use Thief, you can use Switcheroo, whatever you like to get the Everstone from the Boldore. It doesn't always have it, but has a pretty damn good chance of getting it. I'm just using my Hypno from my breeding guide, my Ditto guide from before. I've just got Switcheroo on this set, and I could just grab whatever item it has. Hopefully it's the Everstone. That's what you're going for. Sometimes it won't have an item, and sometimes it will. So there's the Everstone. That's how you get your Everstone. So they're the 2 main things you need for your breeding, your Destiny Knot and your Everstone. I'll go through what both of them do in a second there too. My Hypno went rip there. Okay, so it doesn't matter. I got away from the battle. So basically there you just take the item off the Hypno. Okay, so going to the breeding site now. Alright, so I want to breed a Dratini. So I caught a Dratini today in a Beast Ball, which is really cool. I wanted to breed this one up to 5 IV. Okay, here it is here. So that's what it is. Already is Adamant Nature, because I found it Adamant with the Abra strategy, which I just showed you. So I'm going to put that in there. Now, it's got really good IVs already. I lucked out, so I got 3 of them. Just missing the 4th one with Fantastic. Fantastic actually means 30 IVs. And I'm going to put it up to a Ditto, which I caught in my Ditto SOS guide, which you can check out in the description too. I'm going to put these 2 together. So, the nature you want is the Dratini, so you want to put the Everstone on the Dratini because you want to pass that nature, and the Destiny Knot on the Ditto because you want to pass the IVs too. Now, I'm going to go through what passes what. Just going to put that on there. So the Destiny Knot will take 5 stats, 5 random stats from, as a whole from both parents there. So there are a lot of possible combinations, but if you start with something quite high as I have, even if you start with nothing, it doesn't matter. You just keep chaining your way up. So I'm going to put both of them in there for now in the daycare. Now, before you do the daycare, if you can't, you actually need to breed 20 eggs so you can check your IVs. Then you can go to the battle tree. I might actually just show this. Okay, so quickly just breaking it down for you, let's go through the possible combinations of the parents' offspring. So we have the Dratini on the left and the Ditto on the right. The Dratini with the Everstone and the Ditto with the Destiny Knot. Now, as I said before, the Destiny Knot will take 5 random 31 IVs from each stat from both parents. It won't double up on the same one as well. So we have a possible outcome. The best outcome would be a 5 IV. Then we have a 4 IV, a 3 IV, and a 2 IV if it took the worst possible stats from each one, 5 IV taking the best. So say if we're looking at the best, we take all the 31 IVs from each stat except for special attack, and the worst we take the attack from the Dratini and the worst stats from the Ditto too. So it can be, it's all a luck-based thing. Now you can't, getting a 6 IV is hard, but it is possible. But remember, the last stat that the Destiny Knot passes will always be randomized. So you have to really randomize the last stat to get a 6 IV. Okay, so just racing through here. I don't want to show you running around too much on the back of the Toro, so I'm just going to get right into it. So I hatched my first Dratini here. I got all 6 of my eggs there from the hatcher here. Now, what I'm just quickly going to show you here, I was going to do this before. You'll need to actually, to check your IVs, you'll need to go to the battle tree here. There'll be a blue dude standing here who'll be like, he'll firstly say something like, I'm not interested in you. But when you hatch 20 eggs, any eggs, he'll actually unlock the IV checker, which is inside the PC, and you can judge your Pokemon, as you can see down the bottom right hand corner there in my small screen. Okay, so we're bringing up the graph here. So that's the first one was a 3 IVs, best meaning a 31. So we have a 4 IV there, so that's a definite increase there. All the other ones were below that, so they were all 3. So this is the best Dratini I got. Now, this Dratini can replace the other Dratini we put in there first, which was only 3 IV, so we're actually chaining up there. Now, we're only missing speed in this one, but the Ditto we put in there before still has speed, so that's still an appropriate partner. If you got a 4 IV Dratini, but the Ditto that was good you had before didn't actually have speed, then you'd have to swap it up to a Ditto that had 4 IVs including speed, and maybe something the missing stats that the Dratini didn't have. Okay, so just taking that out and putting that back in. Now, in the early stages of breeding, I don't like to go around out far away from the breeding center, but there is a good track I like to run. Now, I'll get to that one in a second. So let's have a look at some possible outcomes here. So now that we've got 4 IVs in the Ditto, we're going to get rid of a lot of possibilities. So we're always going to have a bad special attack. That's always the same thing. But this Ditto, we actually lost our speed thing, but gained it in defense or special defense, one of those. So we need to get that speed EV back from the Ditto. So the Ditto, we want to be giving that back to us. Okay, so we're looking at health. We can't get a bad one from there. Attack's good. Special attack, that's crap. That's fine. Defense, special defense. So the worst ones we could still get a 3 IV here at worst if it took the special defense from the Ditto, the speed from the Dratini, and it's going to take a bad one from the special attack. So we're going to get 3 IV plus here. Okay, so just quickly going around here. This is where I like to go at the start. Now, this is the thing that I like. Once I get 6 eggs, I'll start putting them in my PC. So I'll probably put about 6 in there. Then once I've got 6 in my PC, I'll run right down the route, right down here, and I'll start hatching my eggs here. I'm just fast forwarding this a lot. So I'll run right the way up this road. It's a very, very good place to hatch your eggs because it's so long. You don't get a tired thumb for doing that Taurus thing in the middle of the farm. I don't really... I just prefer this one better than that. And also, once you get them from an egg, they'll all start hatching in a row. They'll all have the even amount of steps if you take them out of the PC too. And once you've hatched all 6 of them, then you can go to the Pokemon centers along there, grab your next 6 eggs out, put them in your party, then go up the top, just go around the top little part again to grab your 6 eggs, and as you're doing that, you're putting them in the PC, rinse and repeat, go down the bottom again, hatch them along the really long route. Then once they're hatched, check them. You can check them or whatever, or you can then take the eggs out of the PC again, put them back in, go up the top, rinse and repeat. I found this is very, very good. It takes a little bit of preparation to set up with because your first 6 or so eggs will not be hatching all at the same time. You need to, get a bunch. Then I suggest getting a reasonable amount of IVs before trying this method. Okay, so finally we get a 5 IV here, which is perfect. This is exactly what we want. Now, let's take things a little bit further. Say if you wanted to go for something a bit better. So we have the Ditto there. Now, you could keep hatching essentially and get a opposite gender Dratini. We could get go for a 5 IV Dratini. Then you can put those 2 Dratini together with 5 IVs. Then you can start, you guarantee your 5 then, and then you can start going for maybe a 6 IV there. But at the moment, I'm going to stop there, but you can go there and go for another 5 IV. Then you can breed both the same gender together. Build that second... you're building that second Dratini up then to a 5 IV, putting them together, then getting a 6 IV there, maybe. That's an RNG chance, but that will always be guaranteed to get 5 IVs when you have 2 5 IV parents. Okay, so quickly I want to show you how to put egg moves on Pokemon. So we've got this Lapras here. It can breed with Dratini. I'm just putting Water Pulse back on it because that's a move it's learned in the past. Now, Water Pulse is a breeding move for Dratini. Now, let's go through this. Now, females obviously are the ones that pass on the breeding moves because they're the female. The offspring for breeding moves is always a female too. Now, also with the beast balls or anything like that, balls can be passed down from Dittos as well, as you just seen. But you have to initially capture the Pokemon with that ball. there are a couple of little things there too, which I'll get to. Now, just putting the two in the daycare. So the Lapras had to be male because the Dratini was female. As I said, the offspring is going to be female. So the female will pass down, will decide what Pokemon it is, and the Lapras will give the move to the Dratini. You can do this earlier on too if you want to get good IVs. I just didn't want to show this one right at the start. But if you want to pass your egg moves down, you can do this. Then you can do all the IV breeding and such after there. Okay, so I'm just hatching up the Dratini here. That bred with the Lapras, so that's how you get your Water Pulse. So you can only breed for one egg move at a time too, so once you do one, you can go to the other, go to the other, go to the other. You can check all the egg moves and groups online there, each Pokemon does. Now, another couple of little things about that. Let's just bring up this Dratini here. So as you can see, it's got the Water Pulse there, so that's how you get an egg move on the Dratini there. So with the balls as well, say if you got a Dratini male in a Beast Ball and a female in a Pokeball, there's a 50-50 chance whether that ball will pass down. However, if you breed the female then with the Beast Ball and the male already has it, then it'll be 100% of the time. So that sort of thing as an example. You can also breed non-gendered Pokemon with Dittos. If they're caught initially with the Beast Ball, they'll actually spit out the ball now too, as you can see with my Beldum there at the start. Now, there are a couple of other little things too I wanted to go on about. Let me just check if I got everything. Okay. We have I've covered the Ditto pile. That's all good. Okay. So, obviously you can't put a Ditto and a Ditto together either. That doesn't breed a Ditto. So, with the gendered Pokemon, like a male and a female, you can always breed them up together, but with a non-gender Pokemon like a Beldum or such, you need to always breed that up with a Ditto, and that will depend on what the Ditto is. If you don't know how to get high IV Dittos, I've done a guide on that one yesterday. Okay, so just cutting here, here's the Beldum that I bred up 5IV. I actually gave this one away recently. So I went and caught at the Beldum in the wild, did the same thing with Abra, got the Adamant Nature, and slowly bred it up, just like you've seen with the Ditto there. Got it to 5IV, then I actually bred it up against a 4IV Ditto. I've yet to find a 5IV in Sun and Moon yet. Now, things like Tauros that are male only, that cannot do any breeding moves. However, it can breed with female Pokemon in the same egg group there, say if it wants to give them a move or such. Alright, but it will never be like an offspring Pokemon unless you breed it with something like a Ditto. So that always has to be bred up to a Ditto in that case. Now, there's also female Pokemon as well. These can obviously carry the breeding moves there such as well. However, they can't, obviously they got to be bred up. If you want to have the same Pokemon bred, you need to breed it up with the Ditto there too. But if you want to do breeding moves, sure, that works too if they're in the same egg group. This is just a Patili, just an example of a female-only Pokemon. So there are a couple of other little things and stuff, but I kind of just wanted to do a full basic sort of guide there and show you how what it's all about. I may do some other things in the future, for sure, like hidden powers and things like that. I've got a theme team coming up tomorrow, so I hope you're looking forward to that one. I am too. All right, I hope this is really helpful, just to help you get off the ground in breeding. I'm just checking any of my notes if I've forgot anything there. I don't think I have. If I have, just you can leave it in the comment section, or anything, any helpful information, you can leave it in there too. There. Hope that you found this one helpful, guys. Peace out.